The birds are singing and the flowers are blooming. Today's the equinox, and YTD is ready to help usher in spring with a bounty of hopefully delicious snacks. Before we start the long, hard task that is building our beach bodies for the coming sunshine, we will stuff them full of chocolate. Right now on You Tried Dat. You Tried Dat. Equinox. I'm Nick Novak with our pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Guys, it's the equinox, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, I love me some equinox.
Yeah.
Are you guys more equinox guys or solstice people?
I actually do like the winter solstice because it means the days are going to get longer after that, which is a nice thing to look forward to.
And see, and I don't give a fuck. So that's where we differ.
I feel like the solstice. I feel like there's a lot of things around the world where, like, on the solstice, you stand in a certain spot and, like, Stonehenge turns purple or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these kinds of, like,
If you're on drugs.
No, like I remember. Okay, when I was in Ireland, I went to this place called like Bruna Boyne or something, which was like this ancient like tomb or whatever, and it literally was like it's like this big mound, and you can go in, but they're like, if you stand here on one of the solstices, or maybe it was one of the equinoxes, I don't know, then like the sun comes through and like the shadows are like designed to like make a fucking penis or something, I don't know, but
were you actually on this trip? It sounds like the details are pretty foggy.
This was like 13 years ago. I don't fucking remember.
You can hear the mummy of the tomb say, right
someone. So on the solstice, just stand here and you'll see a penis. Wait, what? You guys like zipping his pants up? Solstice.
It's May. Just stand the fuck still.
And in December, we can see these equinockers. Shirt down.
Here's
my solstice.
Question I had with some coworkers. Tell me how you deal with this in your house, whether this is gross or not. So let's say the previous day, your spouse showered and used a towel, and then the towel dried.
Yeah.
The next day, you go to shower. Do you have an issue with using that same towel they used? Like, in your house, do you have, this is my towel, your towel hanging on the rack? Or does that not bother you to use someone else's towel?
Does not bother me at all. We've got 4 towels. There's 2 that hang on a rack, and then my wife, for some reason, put like sticky hooks on the back of our door and hung 2 more towels up. So I don't know. She's expecting company at all times to use our private shower that's attached to our bedroom.
Was one of them like a hair towel or something for her, or
a hair towel?
You know, like sometimes women, when they have long hair, they'll have a separate towel for their hair that they'll like, you know, wrap around their head or whatever.
Oh, no. I thought you meant like a towel made of hair. I was confused. No, she doesn't. But so, and I don't mind. Look, it's just she, and then our kids will sometimes get in there. So like the kids are very able to take the towel back to their room to go change. So those get one use only. But I don't know. You're getting out of the shower. You're as clean as you'll ever possibly be at that point in time if you did it right. And so you towel off and you just hang it up. It's just water mostly that hangs there.
But it's because it's your family. Because like if you were at someone else's place, right? Like let's say you were staying the night at a family member, like a distant relative's place, and you went in and they had a damp towel, you might think twice about drying your body with it. Is that right?
Well, I also won't use a damp towel. Like if the towel's still wet from my wife's shower, I will use a different towel. That's uncomfortable.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I probably wouldn't want to use a towel, let's say, like that my mom used the day before. Just 'cause, I don't know, for some reason that's weirder.
Chad, what's your towel situation?
The complete opposite. We have our own towels on our own towel racks, and we do not use each other's towels at all. And if I used her towel, she would insist that she get a new one. You know what I mean? Like that one goes immeiately into
Order
the
one
bin.
off Amazon immediately.
Yeah.
I cannot lights it on fire, walks away.
And Geiger, your point about like, well, that's the cleanest, you know,
Mm-hmm.
even at the cleanest, the depths of my ass are very, very dirty.
Why are you using the towel for that?
Well, you got to dry it off somehow, right? You're just going to let your butt drip dry.
Hold on. So real talk now.
Uh-huh.
When you are drying off, you are saying you're taking the
Does
towel,
the towel go in your crack?
shoving it between your ass crack and wiping
I
it down?
have a very big butt.
Sure.
An ample crack.
Right. I'm following. Yeah.
So
You can,
I don't.
you can
I don't
put it
want,
in the
like,
crack and still not get to the
Exactly.
the hole.
No wonder
Exactly.
you have a hair towel when you're done. You got all these fucking dingleberries stuck in there.
Like if I don't do that, there's going to be black mold there within a week. Okay. So.
Now, most people actually felt the way Chad does that I talked to, but I agree with you, Geiger. I have kids coming in and out of our bath.
Yeah.
Sometimes they use our shower if they have to. And I'll go in, feel like the 3 towels that might be in there, and whichever one's dry, I'm using it.
Yeah.
And I don't think twice of it.
Interesting.
Now, what's weird, it's weird too, because like when I was growing up, we had like a communal cup in the bathroom. We just had like a plastic cup, and everyone would take the cup, pour water in, and drink out of it. And like now that sounds disgusting to me. Maybe it's because of like we're much more aware of like things like COVID or whatever. But like even like we've never had that in my house. And then I think at some point we changed to Dixie cups, but I don't have a cup in the bathroom at all because who drinks softener water? But whatever.
So, Chad, will your wife then not use a hotel towel? Because that is basically somebody else's clean towel.
No, but it's clean. If it's clean, it's fine. Right?
Okay.
Like it's no. So it's not that she has her own designated towels, period, right? Like we wash the towels and then just pull a clean towel out of the bin. One for her, one for me. Like it doesn't matter which one. But then if I touch that towel, it's now contaminated, and she needs a new clean towel from the pool of clean towels.
And how many towel dries before the towel gets washed?
That was a big debate because I do the laundry, so for me it's let's stretch this out as long as possible.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do it like every 2 weeks, and she likes to do it every week. And so what usually happens is I will say, yes, I will change this in a week, and then I forget, and then it gets changed every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for us, so we split the laundry pretty evenly, but I don't give a shit about the towel situation that much. So it tends to be whenever Betsy puts it in the laundry basket. I don't know when that is. I think it's probably roughly same. I would guess it's around a 2-week rotation. But generally I don't care. It's been more recently because like I said, my son will use our shower sometimes and then take the towel and then he puts it in his laundry bin. But
yeah, I would like to stretch it out more because of laundry, but my kids, like this is a sore spot with my kids, is one use. They walk into their bedroom and then whip it into the hamper. I'm like, I am sick of washing towels. Let's get a few uses out of these bad boys.
I don't know. I find too with my daughter, so you have 2 daughters. My daughter, she's like fucking Cher. She wears like 8 different clothes a day. And like her laundry bin is like full in 2 days and it's all like a shirt she wore for 15 minutes. I'm like, keep the same fucking clothes on. What are you doing? Are you spilling shit all over it all day?
Exactly like Cher.
Well, she has a lot of wardrobe changes. That's
Great
topical reference, right? Kids, what I meant is Charlie XC.
Is she known for that?
Yeah,
Charlie.
she has a lot of like. So she's known for like a lot of production in her show. So when I was in college, my dad used to assign me bodyguard tasks from my sisters all the time. Like, your sister wants to go to Savage Garden at Summerfest. And he's like, can you go with her? I'm like, absolutely fucking not. I don't want to go to Savage Garden. She's like, well, I don't want, she's, 18 or she's 19. I want her there by herself. I'm like, who's she going to get beat up by? The Savage Garden fans? What the fuck? No offense. So like, I went to Savage Garden with her. And then like, she's like, oh, Cher's coming to town. My sister, Jenny, loves Cher. I don't know why. I don't know. I can't explain it. but huge Cher fan. And so my dad is like, we're at work, and he's like, "Hey, your sisters want to go to Cher. I'm going to take them." I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "You're going too." I'm like, "What?" "We do things as a family." That's all he said. "We do things as a family." So I went to a Cher concert. I will
Your
say,
dad loves Cher.
huh?
Your dad loves Cher secretly.
Secretly,
Like, I need you to be
work.
my bodyguard at Cher because I'm going to be so focused on the concert.
Yeah.
Stop me from rushing the stage.
Dad, no! I'm like tackling, he's running me over. I love you. I believe in life after love. She does put on quite a show. If you have like ADD, kind of, it's perfect because she's got like there's fucking trapeze artists and an elephant and like video boards and flamethrowers, and she's changing outfits 18 times. It's all to mask the fact that she can't fucking sing anymore, but it's pretty impressive. So 9 different faces, I think she swapped out.
Nice.
She used 16 towels in a row and then just threw them in the hamper. I was like, Jesus Christ, Cher, that's wasteful.
All right.
She had an entire curtain made out of human hair. She was dancing behind.
All right.
It was called
Let's share our opinion on these snacks. We got 3 snacks. We're gonna rate them on a 5-point scale. I love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and hate that. Let's start with the Encore. This is the. I don't want to take a stab at the company. Paskesz.
Paskesz. What is this? What is this shit that we're eating? Where are these? What are these?
Oh, these are from Des, right?
These are from Des. Again, another Christmas treat. Thank you, Des. I don't know. This it's a product of Spain. Under the supervision of Rabbi, so I believe these are kosher.
These are kosher.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually looked this
say
company up, and it was like started, like 100 years ago, and was based on like making kosher products.
I see. So it's like a Twix, 2 bars.
It's almost essentially like a Twix. Yeah.
Milk chocolate biscuit and caramel.
Either
it is a Twix.
They copied a Twix, or Twix copied them, but it is 100% a Twix bar.
Yeah.
It's a little different in taste, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of what is different. I think the cookie underneath is maybe a little crumblier.
No. And I feel like the caramel's a little less noticeable.
It's been a while since I had a Twix. I used to be like addicted to them in college, and I think I just like OD'd on them, and I've barely eaten them since.
I like the I really like the peanut butter Twix.
Yeah, those are good actually.
Yeah.
I do too. So it just says milk chocolate biscuit and caramel.
There's a lot of writing on this package that I don't understand.
Yeah.
What language is that?
Is that Yiddish?
Is that barcode?
Chad, what do you think of this thing?
You went out of order.
Oh yeah, I did.
I was like,
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Too late.
Why you voice cracked a
Yeah. I wasn't ready.
How's it even possible?
I wasn't ready to go. My balls haven't dropped.
I'm sorry, Gagger.
No, too late. I'm going. It's it tastes like a very stale Twix to me, where the cookie is not like crisp enough, I feel like, and the chocolate is, I don't know. There's something a little off about the chocolate. It's not bad. I ate one of the whole bars actually, and I think that just goes to show like to the strength of like the Twix formula, right? Like it is a solid bar, like it's a good bar, and it's a good combination of flavors. So this is good. But like this, the thing is, it's not something I would ever buy. So I'm struggling to decide if I can really go to a like that. I think I'm just going to stick at high level indifferent for this one.
Wow. It's good. I like Twix, and this is very much like a Twix. It's hard to rate something that's exactly like something you already know.
I mean, how would you rate it? Twix, I guess, if you think it's the same.
Yeah, I do. I think, potentially a Twix could be a Love Dat. And this is I think you said it right in that it's a little like a staler version of it. The caramel's not quite as creamy, and the cookie's not quite as crunchy as it should be. But I still like it. I could easily eat both of these and enjoy it. I'm going to give it a really middle level like that. Geiger?
I had one thing going for me, is that I let off the fucking show. What the fuck, man? No, I don't give a shit.
I have no idea how the fuck I messed
Don't
that
give
up.
a shit. I was literally running, like, as I could see where I was like leaning on the microphone, Chad, and I like veered away. No, I don't give a fuck. I think you guys said it. These are good. I like Twix a lot, regular Twix. I will say it's not as good as a Twix, and I feel like all the components are like one tiny grade lower, right?
Yeah.
Chocolate's not quite as good. The caramel's not as like, I don't know, gooey and salty. And the biggest difference is the cookie. The cookie is crunchier in a Twix. Like there's more of a snap to it and like an actual crunch. This is more of a softer biscuit, but it's still good. I would, like you guys said, I think it's tasty. I would eat this. So I'll give it a solid like that. I would, again, if it was here next to a Twix, I'd eat the Twix, but this is still pretty good. If you're ever in a situation where you can't find a Twix, but you can't find an Encore,
Right.
It's okay.
2 likes and indifferent. Formidable score. That's a score that could win some episodes. So we'll see how these other ones stack up. Next is going to be the Joyva Halvah. Joyva is the company. Joyva is the company. Joyva. Halvah, Halvah, and it says a delicious sesame treat.
Oh no,
chocolate covered. And I was looking up about this company, Joyva, and their slogan was "The house that sesame built."
I like sesame seeds in theory, but we've had some of these seed bars and they've been dog shit. So maybe the chocolate will help.
This one's like, I would say like Milky Way-ish in size, maybe a little shorter. What are you holding up to the camera?
The cross section, I was expecting like sesame seeds or something. It's like if they're there in there, they're like ground up. It's almost like
fuck.
This is shitty.
Would a house made out of sesame seeds really be something you'd want to live in? I feel like probably not.
This is the house that sesame seeds built.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is that inside consistency? It's like a dry, powdery,
Hoy.
I don't know how to describe that. It's like
really weird.
It's very strange.
It's like so weird. It's a lot
it's
like
go ahead.
Do you remember we tried some of those like Mexican snacks where it was just sort of like a powdered peanut butter?
Yeah.
It's
That's
like
what I was trying to
that,
think of.
except tastes like sesame seeds instead of peanuts.
Like the De La Rosa thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then covered in chocolate to sort of like hold it together and prevent it from just like powdering all over your face.
Well,
is it good? I can't tell.
We're about to find out.
Geiger, you're going to tell us. You're leading this one off.
All right. This is weird. I don't know how to explain it. The consistency in the middle is super strange. It's like a powdery sand that's just held together, and you bite it and it kind of dissolves. The chocolate's okay. I like sesame seeds. It's almost like burnt sesame seed flavor, I think, is the only thing I could, like, my brain is associating it with. My first bite was like, oh, fuck no. But I've had 2 more bites since then. I kind of like it a little bit. I know that's probably insane. It's unlike anything I've ever tasted. I can say that. I'm really struggling.
What a ringing endorsement.
It's a unique taste. Like, I've lived a long life. I finally found something new. I'm going to give it an indifferent. It's still very strange, but I don't hate it. I will probably finish it later, but I don't love it. Like, the aftertaste is bad. Kind of the taste during it, but I can't explain why. I still kind of like it. I don't know. But indifferent. I'll split the difference.
Jen.
Well, this is kind of interesting because I on my first bite I was like, this is delicious. But then like as I bit it more, I liked it less and less and less and less. And the consistency really started to whatever the opposite of grow on you is. Like it started to shrivel on me. It it started to wear on me basically. Like this, it became more like laborious to eat in a weird way. And like Geiger said, that aftertaste. Now that I stopped halfway through the bar, and then the aftertaste is like really, really bringing it down. I don't know. It's interesting. I'll give them points for it being different, and I think that's fun. But it just kind of doesn't really work. I probably won't finish this bar. I would never buy this again. So I'm also going to give it an indifferent today.
I'm not going to be nearly as generous as you guys. You said some negative comments in there, and I echo all of those. I took a bite. I felt the powdery, something that should have been wet because it was now in my mouth and was still somehow dry. Really off-putting. The texture of this stuff is just gross, and the flavor cannot overcome that. I'm going to give this a hate deck.
Wow.
A hate?
Yeah. I immediately had to reach
Attaboy.
for a drink. I haven't given out one in a while. But
Yeah,
this one
proud of
really
you.
sticks out.
We
You
need
know
more
what?
hates and loves from you guys.
I give it an indifferent, but I see totally how you could hate it. But I also, if someone's like, "Oh, it really works for me," I get that too. It's just such a weird one.
Yeah.
It's funny. It reminds me of Geiger ear rating. Reminded me. I work in a job where there's adults there, there's children there, and someone was coming in to interview like a new boss type, and so they had him interviewing with adults and part of it, and then they also had him interviewing with kids, like to see how kids thought of this person. And yeah, I know, it was weird. And this guy, like one of the people who came in was like manic and just kind of like crazy and in your face. And so later we were reading all the kids' comments, so the kids had to fill out stuff. And for this guy's, one of the kids wrote, "He was really scary, but somehow that seemed okay." Like, seemed to be how you thought about this candy bar. All right, it's time for a segment. So in about a little over a week's time, week and a half, coming up on one of the big holidays of the year, big important days, and that's April Fool's Day.
Mm.
Ugh.
I thought it was going to be equinox related.
My least fucking favorite day of the year, almost.
Right.
Really?
So April Fool's Day, of course,
Yeah.
known for amazing pranks. It's when all the pranksters come out.
Oh, all the least funny people in the world are like, look at me be funny for a day. Oh, okay.
Wait, is our podcast coming out that day? That'd be right on point.
So there's been some pretty classic and maybe over the top April Fool's Day pranks that have gone down. I'm going to read a bunch of them. You guys are going to tell me about these pranks. Was it a swank prank, right? That's a good prank.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Very swanky.
Clearly.
Was it a blank prank? So just kind of or was it a rank prank? Isn't a bad prank.
That prank is
Like it
rank,
smelled
bro.
rank.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me, if I had been suggested by someone who knows the podcast, and I was running these by, that I put in dank prank. If I said the word dank to you, what do you think of? Positive or negative?
Good,
Positive.
right? Yeah.
Like
Okay,
dank
that's-
memes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like the slang that dank is good. But
Right.
that wasn't my first thought. It's like, if you describe a basement or something, right? It's like a dank, dark,
dirty.
Oh, that's
musty
true.
place.
Mhm.
Isn't it a
So-
weed thing? Isn't like dank weed good?
Yeah. Those dank
Right,
nugs.
fellow youths?
We're pretty
I don't
cool.
fucking know this shit. Yeah.
You didn't want to
Isn't it
go
like
stank prank?
Yeah, I could have
Yeah.
done that too. Well,
Or
we're using swank, blank, and ring.
Or spank Frank. I don't know how it works, but just do
I did. I actually did almost put before I came up with swank, because I had to look up rhyme zone for swank, I couldn't think of anything else that I was going to do. This makes me want to crank. Prank.
That was the next one I was going to suggest.
Well, then.
Prank is so good. I beat off to it.
I'll be honest, you fooled me so bad I immediately had to jack off.
All right, so the first one says, in 1998, Burger King announced that they're releasing a left-handed Whopper. It said the new item had all the same ingredients as the original Whopper, but the condiments were rotated 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
This was supposed to redistribute the weight of the sandwich so there'd be less spillage.
Yeah.
Thousands of customers went to the restaurant to request the genius new invention. This was their April Fool's Day prank. So, Chad, start us off.
I actually feel like I feel like I remember that one. Actually, that rings a bell. So this is what I'm talking about April Fool's Day. The reason I hate April Fool's Day is the embracing it by corporations, right? Like all the corporations come out and they're like, "Look at us, we got a wild website today," or whatever, and it just like annoys the shit out of me. This one actually is a little less, or is a little more harmless, I think, because it is kind of funny that people would actually think that a burger would, like make a difference. One where like it's symmetrical, you know what I mean? Like you don't. That's the whole point of the circle. Yeah, just
we didn't get fooled by the prank.
In case you don't know. So I think, but it still is like all these ones that anything by a corporation, I can't give it more than a
blank prank.
Blank prank. Yes, I was like middle prank. What was it? So that's a blank prank for me.
Dagger?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, as someone who constantly struggles with right-handed burgers, I constantly spill them all over myself. I appreciated the innovation. I bought 8 of them. No, look, it's. I see what you're saying, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
This, like you said, though, is harmless enough, and it did its intended goal of getting people to come to Burger King and buy hamburgers.
That's true.
That's all their job.
It should lose points for
That's
that,
really
for
difficult.
driving traffic to Burger King.
Yes,
It's like harming society.
Burger King serves dog meat on a bun. They managed to convince thousands of people to come try it out with their left hand. So I'm going to give them so what's the
Swank?
one?
You think it's a swank prank?
Spank Bang prank? Is that it? No?
Swank?
Swank?
Hillary Swank prank?
A Hillary Swank memorial prank? Wait, she's not dead. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
I guess...
You may as well, because some of these they're not going to get a lot better.
I'll give it a good prank. Yeah, it's a decent prank. I'll give it a swank prank.
All right. A U.S. clothing store employee in Columbus, Ohio, thought it would be a good idea to prank her boss with a fake robbery. Despite only working there for 2 weeks, she called her boss and said 2 armed men were robbing the store. The manager instantly called the police, as one would,
Right.
Yeah.
and who dispatched 4 response vehicles. A few minutes later, the employee called back to shout, "April Fools!"
From the back of a jail.
But it was too late. She was charged with inducing panic and was fired. What do you think, Kager?
Look, whatever points of the prank skill you get for having a shitload of nuts, this is pretty far up there. You just got hired at this place. Yeah, it would have been better. I would have given her more points if, as she was getting led away by the cops, like dragged into a jail cell, she's like, "I get my one phone call, right?" And she went over the phone like, "April Fools!" and just hung up,
Shouting April Fools like into a hail of gunfire.
She walks out with an Uzi. It's fake, April Fools. She started letting loose. Yeah, this was pretty stupid. I don't like. You got to know that they have to take that serious, and that the cops are not going to be super pumped about coming out to break up a fake, non-existent crime. So,
Right.
Yeah,
Cops don't like rank pranks. Usually.
they don't like. They're not a big fan of any prank, from what I understand. I think most of it, they don't. I don't know. They like real crime. That's not true either. Anyway, they were not a fan of this. Neither am I. I'm giving it a rank prank.
Chad?
This one, I'm blaming the boss here because it's April Fool's.
It's April Fool's.
It's April Fool's. You got to have your guard up, right? Like some dipshit that you just hired, and you know they're a dipshit because you hired them, and you're apparently a dipshit. Like calls you up and tells you that there's an armed robbery on April Fool's. You got to be skeptical of that. That's a really, really funny prank. And I can say that it's funny because nobody died because of it. So I am going to give that a swank prank. I like that one.
All right.
Wow.
Some radio hosts in Kansas City created panic after reporting that local tap water contained high levels of dihydrogen monoxide in 2002. If anyone remembers their 8th grade science class, right? Side effects of the chemical include urination and wrinkled, pruny skin. Concerned members of the public began calling the water department and 911, discussing whether or not the contamination could be a terrorist attack. All right. So, Chad, what do you think of this?
So, okay. See, now this is my problem with April Fools is that's legit funny, but the American public is not smart enough to understand this, right? Like the American public is so fucking dumb. They're so easily fooled. We're surrounded by just like 200 million morons in this fucking country. And so you do something like that and you're going to get them all like calling the water department and stuff. So swank prank, because that is funny.
Don't you think some of it depends on how he presents it? Like if they're saying, oh, the water is contaminated, because you might not be listening, and if it's very serious, or if it says it's a radio DJ, so if he's just like, the water's contaminated, boy, yo, 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 like playing sound effects and shit.
I think that's my problem. Like now here's Tracy with the weather. Hey, Tracy. You didn't drink any of that water, did you? My thing.
Watch out for that dihydrogen monoxide.
Your skin's already wrinkly, isn't it, Tracy, old bag? My thing with this is I'm torn because on the one hand, it is a funny prank. Like, it's not their fault that people are hideous dipshits. Mm-hmm. It's pretty sad, but it's funny that they did that. On the other hand, they ruined a bunch of public service workers' days of having like the poor fucking customer service at the water company. Like, God damn it, you morons. And also, Novak touched on a little bit. Morning DJ is kind of like the ninth circle of hell of person, I think. They're kind of, they're like, welcome to the morning zoo. And they're just like, oh, wooga, your water's fucked up. Like, that's just kind of, I can see just like, that's awful. I don't like those kind of guys in general.
Right.
I'm going to give this a rank prank only because, look, it's funny and it's creative and it's not their fault, but they ruined the days of like some people who have to work at a fucking water company to begin with. So.
All right. Next, a Hooters restaurant worker, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says the Hooters restaurant in Florida decided to celebrate April Fool's Day by hosting a beer drinking contest. The person who drank the most beer would receive a free Toyota. After the waitress, you can see where this is going. After the waitress, a waitress who works there somehow won the contest, I guess.
Hell yeah.
An employee? Wow.
Nicely done. She's out drinking all these fucking like losers, divorced dads and stuff.
The manager blindfolded her, took her to the back where the car is supposed to be, and saw that she was awarded a toy Yoda, a plastic doll from Star Wars. It says the furious waitress sued the restaurant and won, even though she was fucking trashed during her shift.
So many questions. So is this like she also had to buy a fuck ton of beer?
Yeah, I don't know how that worked. Right.
So she paid for all these beers.
Or if it was just like a line them up like a pie eating contest thing, maybe. I'm not sure how that was.
Oh. I'll be a little honest with you guys. I'm a little concerned of like I've been to a Hooters or two in my day. One of those waitresses, like these 120-pound nothings, outdrank an entire bar full of people. That's impressive.
He was awarded with supposedly to get a vehicle to drive away.
Yeah, was this like a Nova Scotia Hooters, or was like a woman? Was like, I don't know anything about Nova Scotia. That's probably not.
What's wrong with Nova Scotia?
I just pictured someone who would like be a sturdy type of waitress. That's all. I rip on Wisconsin too much, so I had to go somewhere else. I picked a cold weather area. Okay.
Nova Scotia.
It was probably New Brunswick. You're right.
Good looking women don't live in cold weather.
Can you even point to Nova Scotia on a map?
It's in Canada. It's on the
It's like right over the border, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know because that's where the Jeremy Irons escaped to in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Ah. Okay.
Oh,
Great.
right. And then he went to the Hooters, right?
Yeah.
So chick was just pounding Miller Lights.
He got in the Toyota and it exploded.
Yeah, this is shitty. Like, you can't do that. Also, you can't. Why are you allowing your employees to be part of the? What is she working the rest of her shift? She's like, here's your wings, just like throwing them on people and falling over.
Right.
It also just sounds very exploitative of an employer to have his employee participate in a thing that gets her trashed and then gives her a toy Yoda. Now, the only thing I'll say is, if this was like if there was a poster or a flyer for this, maybe she should have figured it out. But this is a rank prank. This seems mean spirited. And like
the flyer had a big picture of a stuffed Yoda
driving a Toyota, so it was really confusing. Yoda was driving through the Canadian wilderness, pounding a Labatt Blue.
Chad, what do you think?
I'm trying to think of somewhere it's like you do a Yoda voice, or it's like Nova Scotia, you will go, or something like that. But
so much
anyway.
beer you must drink.
Yeah,
Back waitress has.
So this, I want to separate this out because I actually do think the toy Yoda pun there is actually pretty clever. And if that was a prank in some way where you just were like, say you did it as like a random drawing, like, oh, we're just going to random draw for this person wins like a toy Yoda, and then that's what it is, right? Then I think that would be legit funny. Like, that's a pretty good prank. But to have like a drinking contest, these people could potentially be like endangering their lives, right? Like if they really think they're winning a car, they might drink too much, overdose, something like that. It's just a problematic situation all around. And as far as we can tell, this was not in Nova Scotia, so these people probably couldn't handle their liquor as well.
Yeah, what are you going to do up there? Hit a moose? Who cares?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this is a rank prank for me.
And picture this manager, like he gets out back and she sees it, and then everyone else just sits there disappointed, and he points at her like, "Gotcha!"
I mean, you're a Hooters, you're a manager at a Hooters. This is probably the highlight of your year.
He just like pulls back the curtain and is like, "Tricked you, I did." And she's like, "What? I never seen the movie. I don't know what you're talking about."
All right, next one. Glenn Howlett's colleagues at London City Hall thought they had dreamed up a great gag. They sent him a memo informing him that the really big report he was working on was going to be due early in just 2 weeks. The tip-off was that the memo was dated April 1st. Mm-hmm. Except Howlett didn't realize it was a joke. He received the memo while on vacation and immediately cut his vacation short and phoned the office to tell everyone to start getting busy. But as he contemplated the new deadline, he worked himself into an increasingly state of panic until soon he began to experience heart palpitations.
Oh, no.
This is a strange story. Finally, he collapsed from the stress and had to take a leave from work. As he was recovering, he realized it just wasn't worth risking his health to finish the report, so he filed for early retirement. I don't know
How old is this guy? 27. Work life really isn't cut out for me. I just can't handle the stress.
At which point, someone told him the early deadline was just a joke. How did it get that far?
Where's
They didn't
Harold?
tell him when he had a borderline heart attack. But then when he's thinking of
stroke.
retirement,
Keep it
whoa,
going.
hold on, dude.
I think we should tell him, hold on, let's see how this plays out.
He had heart palpitations. Oh, we should call it off. He's still alive. It's still on. Let it ride.
All right, Chad, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty fucked.
Fuck it, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
What was this report, I wonder?
Yeah. What kind of report gives you heart palpitations? I guess I don't know. Was he doing a report on all the fine Nova Scotia Hooters waitresses? Like,
He just got so riled up.
there's no time for me to get all their measurements this quickly. Yeah. They definitely should have said something like way sooner, like probably when he started calling all his aides and shit to like, hey, you gotta work weekends. Like, okay, now's the time to pull the plug on this. So I'm gonna go rank prank on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, as someone who gets stressed out a fair amount by work, I would have, first of all, I would have been, sorry, I'm on vacation. I'll do it when I get back. Second of all, but yeah, like, it's not like April Fool's Day is a day off from work. Like, people, like, at their regular day where you have regular meetings, it's feasible that they would need the report then. So I don't know how they were expecting him to, like, well, how'd you not know this was a prank, Harold? It's just a fucking regular goddamn day for most of us, you dipshits. Yeah, like, but yeah, the first step, as Chad pointed out, should have been when he called his underlings to be like, get that goddamn report done. Secondly was when he wound up in the fucking hospital. And the third was when he tried to threaten retirement over a fucking report. I do think Harold needs to fucking sack up a little bit. Like calm down, bro. It's one fucking report. I'm quitting!
This was all over the course of an hour.
Harold went from
Fuck, everyone get to work. Ah, fuck, shit. Oh, where? Oh, shit, I'm retiring. God damn it.
He's just fucking sipping Mai Tais in Nova Scotia, and the next minute he's fucking on a gurney. Tell my job I'm quit. Also, I'm getting appetition. First things first, I gotta get my affairs in order. I need to calmly retire from work. I'm fucking quitting. What the fuck is this asshole doing? So, I actually think this is a blank prank. I do think they're shitty for making him do that and for not getting in front of it. But he also is kind of being a baby about it. So.
It's the phrasing of, as he was recovering, he realized it just wasn't worth risking his health to finish the report.
He should retire because he works with a bunch of pieces of shit. That's why he should quit.
What's this report? Like, were they making him drink uranium or something? No,
it's like, oh yeah, you're in the hospital. Yeah, we're still gonna need that report, man.
Heart palpitations, huh? Your fingers still work. Type that report up, asshole.
Yeah. I'm FedExing over you a computer so you can start typing in the hospital bed. Get to work.
All right, 2 more quick ones. Nothing says gotcha like faux suicide. Randy Wood from New York State thought he'd have some fun with his ex-wife in 2004 when he staged an elaborate front yard tableau where it would appear that he was hanging from a noose, when in actuality, he was safely attached to a harness.
Oh.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Shockingly, it turns out his ex-wife didn't immediately think, wait, it's April 1st. She called 911, and Randy spent the night in jail. All right.
Well,
This will teach you, Sharon.
I can safely say Sharon sounds like she made the right call. Fucking divorcing this colossal fuck
they
up.
were already. She was already his ex-wife at the time, or she became his ex-wife because of this.
No, it said have some fun with his ex-wife.
Oh,
well, I don't know.
okay.
I guess it could be the other way, but
Look, there are some folks out there
yeah.
that get along with their exes, I'm sure, ex-spouses, but it sounds like a pretty mean-spirited thing to do to any human being, let alone someone you've already been through a divorce with.
So what do you think?
That said, harness, that's a pretty good trick. Also, like, it's not just a prank on her, though. It's a prank on, like, the entire neighborhood driving by and seeing a body swinging in the fucking front yard. What in the fuck? Like, what was his plan? Just sway there forever?
You get away with that shit in Nova Scotia, but
Nova Scotia, no one can hear you scream, right? You're just out there by yourself.
Who's gonna, in space?
Who's going to turn you? Nova Scotia is one of the moons of Jupiter, right?
Yeah.
Rigel 1 and Nova Scotia.
So what do you think?
Nova Scotia is where the James Webb Telescope is right now.
It's trained on a distant star, and there's a Martian swinging from the thing, and he just flips you off and goes, "April Fools," or "Gleek Lorp," or whatever fucking. This is fucking horrible. What a dipshit! And this is a rank prank. That's horrible to make anyone think you died, let alone your ex-wife, who you think like you either wouldn't want to piss off or at least wouldn't want to interact with that much.
I wish instead of just like playing dead, he's like just staring at her saying, "Sharon, you succubus, look what you did to me."
I hate
Chad,
Carl.
what do you think?
Yeah, he's like, I was just going to retire early, and instead I did this.
It's poor Harold again.
Yeah, I mean, look, suicide is one of those things that's never funny, except for the couple times that it is funny. But this is not one of those times. Yeah, I think like faking it in front of the whole neighborhood is bad. It's also risky, right? Like, what if his harness didn't work or snapped or something like that?
Right.
Seems pretty dumb. There's a lot of better ways you could try to have fun with your ex-wife. Like, I don't know, put some like fireworks on the sidewalk so that when she walks on them they explode or something like that. That could be more fun.
Do you know how fireworks work? You step on a firework and it explodes? You think they're like at the 4th of July there's a bunch of guys stomping around on the ground?
I didn't mean fireworks. I couldn't remember what they're called. You know
little
those
popper
things?
things?
Yeah, the popper things that you throw on the ground is what I meant, but I said
There's
fireworks.
a bottle rocket shoots up her skirt. April Fools, gotcha.
Flying through the air. You're like, say hello to the James Webb Telescope. Yeah, so this is pretty rank.
Thanks for divorcing me. Here's some 3rd-degree burns. All right, the last one. Residents of the Alaskan city of Sitka woke up to a terrifying sight the morning of April 1st, 1974. Mount Edgecumbe volcano, which had been dormant for 400 years, had an enormous cloud of thick black smoke rising from its crater, threatening to destroy the city in a hellish eruption. A Coast Guard helicopter was urgently scrambled to investigate the fire as the locals ran for their lives. But the chopper pilot found a pile of tires burning on the summit next to a message reading, "April Fool." It turned out to be the most elaborate prank of all time, devised by local Oliver Porky Bicker. He'd enlisted the help of a private helicopter pilot who agreed to fly the tires to the top of the mountain and set them on fire. And here's the quote from the guy. "On April Fool's Day, I hired a chopper and flew 70 old soaked tires to the top of the dormant volcano. I set the tires on fire and the billowing smoke created one hell of a commotion in Sitka. I dare you to top that April Fool's joke."
Wow.
Wow.
No remorse.
Porky.
Porky.
All right, Chad, what do you think of Porky's move here?
Yeah, I mean, he has the perfect name for pulling this kind of like dumb shit, dumb shit action. Tires really fucking smell too, right? Like when you burn them.
Yes. Like rubber.
Yeah, so that sucks. But here's the thing: like, when the volcanoes erupt, isn't there also like usually, I don't know, earthquake or like sound motion? You know what I mean? I don't know. I've never been in a volcano eruption.
I would think more than a small plume of smoke.
Yeah, right. And aren't there like U.S. geological people there that would be like, no, there's no seismic activity going on or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So
it was the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Geology hadn't started yet.
Yeah. There were no scientists in the 70s. Yeah, so I feel like this is more on the townspeople for like just being so panic stricken, you know, like I don't think that's the conclusion I would have jumped to. So I'm just gonna go. Do I want to go swank or stick with blank? I think you should have used something besides tires because of the smell. So I'm gonna go blank prank.
Geiger.
So the big problem
prank
with Porky was that his prank was too smelly, according to you.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I understand. I don't understand your premise at all. So, I've never lived next to a volcano. Okay. But if I looked up and saw said volcano with roiling black smoke coming out of it, I'm probably not going to just go. But wouldn't I feel some sort of tremors or see anything?
I mean,
else?
a lot of volcanoes
like
smoke on and off, like just as part of their.
Let me call my local geologist. Hold on. Yeah, excuse me, geologist. Yeah, what do you think of this activity? I'm getting the fuck out of there. Also, probably burning a bunch of rubber in the middle of a wooded area is probably bad for the environment. That's also bad there. But the fucking dude's name is Porky, so that's pretty fucking cool.
Very cool.
Porky. So, why did he do it? Just because he thought it'd be funny?
It's the best April Fool's
prank.
Yeah,
he's a master prankster.
He is a master prankster.
Top that, Burger King.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
All right, you talked me into it. This is a pretty... It's a...
I did?
Yeah. With your persuasive townspeople are dumb argument. I will say this is a swank prank. Only because of the sheer cojones and the planning and the money. Like you pointed out, that's an expensive prank. That's prank commitment, and it's at least original. So good job on Porky. Did he rot in jail for the rest of his life?
I actually think he should have rigged it so that when someone stepped on the volcano, it erupted.
A bunch of fireworks shot out. Oh no! What a beautiful eruption!
All right, take that, Sharon. Let's eat this Klik Kariot Pillows. All right, Klik. We've had there's a Klik bar that I had given a love to way back that had like a cream center. These, it's hard to tell exactly what. Oh, it says on back: nougat filled, crunchy cereals coated with milk chocolate. They do look like a little pillow.
Mm-hmm.
They look like Porky's dirty pillows.
Yeah, they're maybe like what else is like this size? It's like a big fat Tic Tac or not a Tic Tac.
Tic Tac.
Not a Tic Tac.
It's like a
Tic Tac.
Like an overgrown milk dud or something.
Yeah, or like a huge like piece of gum. Like, you know, you get the gum that comes in little squares. Like that kind of gum.
Like the chiclets.
Yeah, something like that.
Chiclets, but like it's like bubble yum sized.
It's like a rice check.
Covered in chocolate. And it's very crispy.
Does the nougat have any discernible flavor in the middle? I tasted the chocolate and the cracker, or the cookie.
Yeah.
What is it? Nougat filled crunchy cereals.
I'm going to try stacking two of them at once. See how that goes.
Smooth operation you had there.
Yeah, they didn't really stick together very well because of their round shape.
This is really tough. Okay.
What's so tough about it?
I do.
Whoa. Calm down, Porky.
Pick a fucking rating!
I really like the taste of this chocolate that Klik uses. The thing I gave a love to was chocolate with like a white cream on the inside. And I think that could use a little bit, that this could benefit from kind of mimicking that a little bit more. The middle needs to be filled with some other kind of flavor, I think. I think just it's like hollow in most. Have you guys are most of yours hollow?
Yeah.
On the inside?
Yeah, there's some crumbly stuff in there once in a while, but yeah.
It's like there's like a cookie layer, and then there should be another layer in there of something creamy. Mm-hmm. That would make this great. That said, it's still pretty good. I like the taste. I've been going back for more. To me, this is still a pretty easy like that. So it's definitely in the game here. Geiger, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. The middle is not nougat. I don't know what it says. Nougat. Oh wait, nougat filled crunchy cereals. Yeah, there's no nougat in there. And it just tastes like a crunchy cookie covered in chocolate. Now, having said that, the chocolate's good. I like the chocolate on these things. And this is the kind of crunch of a cookie I wish was in the Encore bar. Like it's actually like a crunchy, like crispy cookie inside. So I think it's good. I'm going to give it a like that. I wish that it was filled with actually something, because the cross section makes it sound like it's like filled with some goo or nougat or whatever, and there's nothing. There's no goo to be had. It would be better with goo, but since there is none, I still think it's good, and I will give it a like that.
All right, it's down to the wire here.
Wow.
So the Encore had 2 likes. Those are both from Geiger and I. Mm-hmm. And then the indifferent from Chad. Now these Kariot Pillows have gotten 2 likes, again, from Geiger and I. Mm-hmm. And so it's up to Chad. Does he like this better or worse than the Encore? Let's see.
Well, much like a Nova Scotia Hooters waitress, the top and the bottom are fine, but the middle's the problem.
Wow.
I'm sorry. That was mean. I take it back.
I take it back.
Says the guy who needs a towel to wipe out the crevice of his mammoth ass.
Yeah, I like prank my wife by lighting a tire fire at the top of my butt. She thinks the volcano's about to erupt. I'm sort of echoing what you guys say. Like, this chocolate on the outside tastes pretty good. If these things were filled with like a sweet vanilla cream or maybe even some peanut butter, this would be an easy love that. It's got a great form factor, right? Very like poppable, good size. It's like got a sort of a nice addictive quality. It's just kind of like, I just don't know what the fuck is going on with that filling. It's like there sometimes, it's there not sometimes. It's barely has any taste. But so these have potential, but they haven't reached that potential. As it is, they are very good, and they're definitely my favorite snack of the day. So I'm giving them a like that too.
All right, that's gonna take them, make them a welcome visitor, and they'll come right on in and get the W. So before we do the social meds, I did Google Nova Scotia Hooters.
Was there one?
And there's a short 1-paragraph article called "Hooters is No More."
Oh,
from 2010. It
after
says,
a Toyota giveaway gone wrong.
The burned out Dartmouth Hooters restaurant has been de-Hooterized with all the signing removed.
Spray down all the Hooters so they're not stuck in the walls anymore.
Last weekend, someone was seen hauling what remained of the place out of there. I've had no luck finding anyone connected with the place to comment on what's up, but it's safe to presume Dartmouth just got a little less tacky. But a problem with Hooters, I guess. But,
He's a judgmental columnist there.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Where can the listeners contact us?
Real quick, true story. My dad used to go to NASCAR races.
Mm-hmm.
He might still, I don't know. But obviously Hooters is a big sponsor of NASCAR racing. And so he brought us all home, like me and my sister's T-shirts from Hooters. And he only saw them at the races. He had no idea that there was like a restaurant, as they call them. So
wow.
he like gives us
thought
these
it was a shirt about owls?
Well, he goes, oh, I thought it was cool because like the owl's eyeballs are in the O's of the Hooter, you know what I mean? And so the back of the shirt says more than a mouthful. And I think for some reason I knew what it was. I was cracking up, and my mom was really pissed off. Like, Dick, you can't do that. Like, you telling him, like, take the shirts back. Like, my 11-year-old sister walking into school with a Hooters T-shirt on. Yeah, Dad.
You should be like classing it up for Wisconsin, though.
Well, it was better. I mean, it shook it up because the other 6 days a week I wore Big Johnson T-shirts, so that was a step up. Co-ed naked volleyball T-shirts or the fuck.
Right.
More than a mouthful. Those owl wings they serve at the Nova Scotia Hooters.
Owl wings, great horned owl wings and caribou steak, all you can drink. Anyway, moving on. If you ever worked at a Hooters, Nova Scotia or not, and you thought you were winning a beer drinking contest with your boss, if you pulled off a great April Fool's prank, or a rank one, like, you know, pretending to die or robbing a store. If you ever gave poor Harold, if you're out there and you're living a blissful life in retirement with a healthy heart, we'd like to hear from you. Good on you for sticking it to the man. And if you want to weigh in on that towel stitch, like what do you do with the towels? Do you share with your significant other or your kids or whatever?
Weigh in on that. I would like to know.
Yeah.
What just random person in the middle of Ohio listening to this does with their towels. So definitely please contact us.
Wow. I'm trying to engage with our listeners. A dismissive dickhead. I mean, I'll be frank, I don't care either. But I mean, just to fill this time slot.
I don't know why I'm being mean. I'm sorry. That was mean. I'm sorry.
Boy. Whew, that was a rank prank, Chad. To get the hopes up. You can reach us at youtrydat@gmail.com. Hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. The You Tried Dat group on Facebook. We're on YouTube and Instagram. Please let us know what you think of the podcast, of our ratings, suggest snacks, suggest questions that we can ask and talk about, like this towel situation that we vitally, vitally care about. And if you are a listener and you enjoy it, please tell your friends and family that you think would enjoy this type of podcast. And as always, thanks for listening.
All right, quick before we go, what is an acceptable April Fool's Day prank? What's something, let's say someone said, you got to pull a prank on someone today, no matter how big or small. What's something that actually you could do?
See, I have a wide range of possibilities because I live with 2 kids, and we all know kids are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And my wife, who I love very dearly, but is very gullible. So, like, I used to just, like, randomly come home, like, and I'd be like, oh, did you see so-and-so died today? And I would just make up, like, it would be like Conan O'Brien or something. Like, I would just pick a random celebrity, like, oh, you see they died today? And she'd be like, oh, really? And then she'd look it up, and it wasn't true. So now I can't do that anymore because she won't.
I'd probably believe you too.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm fucking moron. Conan O'Brien will never die.
I just got in a car accident. Oh, you did? You fucking gullible idiot. No, I did not. What's like something neat? Like, you get to pull someone's chair.
What?
Crack their
That's
spine.
a prank?
Whoopee cushion.
I mean, like my wife has like a really bad cashew allergy, so maybe I grind some up and put them in her pancakes or something. That'd be gotcha. I'm taking her to the fucking hospital.
As her eyes are closing for the last time. April fucking Fools.
You got pranked. My dad is afraid of like creepy crawly stuff, so I used to have all these like rubber spiders and snakes and stuff. So and April Fools, I'd always put like a snake on his pillow and think I'd like, he'd always be like, "Oh yeah, you scared me." Like I'm sure he was just this fucking kid.
That's the best he could do. Oh yeah, you scared me. Real nice job, you dipshit.
Real creative, you fucking disappointment. I was like, whoa. Sorry. April Fools, man.
He just takes the rubber snake and wraps it around his neck, and he's like, "Now I'm gonna hang myself." But he's got a harness, so it's okay.
Slams the door of his room behind you. And he's like, you just hear him being like, "My kid can't prank for shit."
He left me. It was really frightening. He left me a note on my pillow that said, "I love you, but you just can't prank." And I ran out to the front yard, and he was swinging from a rubber snake. Like, holy shit!
From a rubber snake. And as you were down your knees crying, he swung sideways, revealed the harness. He's like, "That is how you do it."
Look, I love my dad, but I would love to see the rubber snake / harness contraption. We'd need a much bigger tree in our yard. I'm just saying.
And like right as he reveals the prank, he's like, "That's how you do it." And then all of a sudden, like the sidewalk that you're on just explodes in fireworks. Gotcha again!
I took the rubber snake, I unwound it from his neck lovingly, and the snake blew up in my face. It was full of fireworks.
You're like, "Stop! I'll stop when you retire." You didn't notice that the snake was around his neck, but he was standing on 2 different ladders just to stay up there completely. You didn't notice my contraption.
Chains holding him up in the... Man, and Dad has the most elaborate death of all time. This is badass.
Yeah, I mean, I might just like swap towels with my wife or something.
Okay. That's my towel. Gotcha. Yes, I knew there was hanging halfway out of your ass crack. I knew exactly what that was.
Giant racing stripe down the middle. I figured out whose it was.
All right, we have some big episodes coming up. We're going to be traveling the globe and getting some snacks from around the world. Oh, we also probably want to give a last thank you to Des.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who sent us these snacks. Thank you so much. We appreciate you sending us snacks constantly. So continue to do so. Right. That'll do it for this time. We'll be back next time. We're trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.
Like he gives up everything else.
I know. I used that white noise machine I got you when your father died. Transport yourself to the shores of Nova Scotia, where cod and halibut frolic in...
He's just drumming louder.